Hey peeps, what up, what up, what up? Alright, so welcome to another banging video. We're going to be talking about candlestick patterns today, right? And I'm going to be sharing with you my top 3 candlestick patterns that I love. And these are 3 candlestick patterns that have actually made me a lot of profits in the markets. I'm going to be telling you about them, and I'm going to be showing you how they actually work and when to look out for them, right? Once you can identify these candlestick patterns, you have pretty much a 60 to 70% chance of being successful when you're entering your trades, right? So before we continue, please consider subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and just share the content with somebody who you believe this would bring a lot of value to, right? I appreciate you guys continuing to support the channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, please, and continue to just push the movement so we can continue to grow. All right, so without further ado, let's talk about it. So the first candle formation I want to discuss with you guys today is actually the let me change this. The first candle formation I want to talk to you about today is the engulfing candle. Now, pretty much what an engulfing candle is as the name suggests, it's an engulfing. So this is when you have a candle like this red candle right here that is formed, and then another candle engulfs it entirely, right? This particular formation indicates that there's a great chance that price is going to move up. So you have a bearish candle, which is this candle right here, followed by a strong bullish candle that engulfs the body and the wicks of the previous candle. This is indication that price is looking to move up. Now, this can be whether this is basically from in a buy market perspective. In a sell market, it would be the opposite. So you'd have a red candle here and a green candle here, right? And then the red candle would actually engulf the green candle. So it could possibly look something like this. So we change this to green and we change this candle to red. And this now would be an engulfing candle to the sell, to the opposite direction. So you have a green candle here. So the candles were going up, and then you had this red candle which is pushing price down now, which signifies that price is possibly going to continue down or start to go down or start to reverse in the opposite direction, right? So that's the engulfing candle. Now the other candle that we're going to look at is the star candle. Now you have the morning star and the evening star, right? So the morning star is the ones that you get when you're looking for buys, and the evening star is the ones that you look for when it's gonna sell. So the formation is pretty simple. Just like what you're seeing here, you have a strong red candle, which is a bearish candle going down. And then after this candle, you have a green candle or sometimes a red candle that actually stops the movement. So imagine you having all of this momentum from this red candle pushing down, and then a green candle stops it. That is the first sign that, hey, this red candle doesn't have enough momentum to continue down, or the sellers that were in the market at this point, they're now getting some resistance from buyers. So therefore, we have to now start taking into consideration these 2 candles. And then followed by this candle is a strong candle to the opposite direction, right? So you have a strong candle to the opposite direction. This indicates, what this is saying basically is that price was on its way down. It hit basically a brick wall right there, and then from this brick wall, buyers took over the market and then start to push the price above the previous red candle, which where the sellers were. So this is a strong indication that price is about to go up, right? So this is one of my favorite candles to look out for whenever I'm trading. Now, if you're looking for sells, what it would be is basically this candle would be, let me see if I can. So this candle will be up here. So basically it's just the opposite really, all right? So it would be the opposite of, let's just remove that. bring this down. So basically, as it relates to the opposite direction, so this would be a strong bullish candle moving up to the upside, right? And then this now would be a strong bearish candle going into the opposite direction. So this now shows you there was movement to the upside, so price was going up, right? Let me change the color of this just to make it easy. Change this to red, right? So price was going up, strong green candle with price going up, and then it just hit a brick wall, and then instead of continuing with another strong bullish candle to go up, it formed a bearish candle with a very long wick to the other side. And then right after that, you had a strong bearish candle going towards the downside. This is what you call the evening star. So the evening star is the sell star and the morning star is the buy star. So these are what you look for whenever you're looking for your star formation candles, right? So this is one of my, as I said before, another one of my favorite candles to actually trade. So you have the engulfing candle, and you have the engulfing candle, and you have the star candles, right? The other one I like to look out for, this one is rarer, or this one happens far less than these other two. But when you see this, it's a great chance that price is going to go in the opposite direction. And I call it the 3-line strike, right? So why I call it a 3-line strike is because it's 3 in line and then 1 strike. So 1, 2, 3 candles are moving in one direction, and then another candle just drops and engulfs all 3 candles to the opposite direction. This to me is strong indication that price is going in the opposite direction. Now imagine you have all of these candles here, nice bunch of green candles moving up, and then all of a sudden price reaches right here and has had this big drop down. This means that bears have taken over the market completely and has engulfed all of these bulls that were in the market. This is an indication to me that price is ready to continue to go down. So these are the different candlesticks formation that we look out for. Obviously, if it's on the other side, this would be a bunch of red candles and then a green candle that would just push up past the red candle. So you can just imagine, and see if I can find some examples of it. But pretty much these are my three favorite formations that I look out for anytime I'm trading, anytime I'm in the market, because once I see these formations, I'm a little bit more confident in taking my entry and trading, right? Yeah, so you have the engulfing candle, which is a candle that was moving in one direction, and then another candle actually engulfs the candle, meaning that it covers over the entire candle in the opposite direction. And you have the star formation where you have a candle strong to one direction, and then you have a small candle, a doji candle that stops the movement of that strong candle to the up to one direction, and then followed by the doji candle you have another strong candle to the opposite direction. So this is another indication. This is what we call a star formation. And then you have the 3-line strike where you have 3 candles going in one direction, and then you have a strong red candle that just drops and engulfs the previous 3 candles. So we're going to go on the charts and we're going to see if we can find some examples, so I can show you some practical examples. But before I go, right, there are 3 things that I want you to be mindful of when you're looking to trade these 3 candle patterns. There are a couple of rules, right? And the first rule when it comes on to trading these candle patterns is, one second. So let's look at rules. So rules. The first rule is that you only, oh wow, what happened just now? Right, so here we go, sorry. So the first rule number 1, is that you only take entry at strong supports and resistance levels, right? So when you're looking for these formations, you want to find these formations at strong support and resistance levels. So if you're on the chart and this is a support level, you want to make sure that this is at a support level right here where you see price comes, stops, and next candle engulfs it. So you want to make sure that's at a support level. Same thing with here. You want to make sure that this is at a support level. And of course, with this one, you want to make sure that this is at a resistance level, because this is a pattern that is going down based off of how we draw this, right? So you want to ensure that price is at a very strong support or resistant level. You don't want to actually trade in the middle of nowhere. So price has to have a very strong support or resistance level when taking those trades, right? The second thing you need to do is you need to wait for candle to close, right? So you have to wait for the candle to close. So if the candle doesn't close, you don't take an entry. You have to wait for the candle to form, because a lot of people tend to want to try and preempt that's it, the formation, and jump in before the candle actually close. That's the biggest mistake, because you don't know if it's actually going to do that formation until the candle actually closes. So it's very important, guys, to wait for the candle to close. Once the candle closes and you see a pattern, then you can execute the trade. But you don't want to execute the trade before the candle actually close. So the third thing is you want to be able to put your stop loss below the wick, right? So if you're trading this candle, right, and the lowest point, the lowest wick is this wick, you want to put your stop loss below this wick, right? So if you're entering right here for a long off of this candle, you want to make sure your stop loss is below the wick, and you go for your 1 to whatever, right? If you're trading this star formation, the higher time frame, if this is a lower time frame trade, you want to make sure that your stop loss is below the wick of the doji candle, and then you look for your trade to push up. So if you're going to enter here after the close, you want to make sure that your stop loss is below the wick of the doji candle. If you're trading from the higher time frame though, the 4 hour or the daily, you want to put your stop loss below the current closure of the candle. So if this is a 4 hour candle, after the 4 hour candle close, you can put your stop loss below the 4 hour candle. If it's a daily candle, you can put your stop loss below the daily candle. However, if it's a 30-minute, 1 hour, 15-minute, 5-minute candle, you can put your stop loss below the wick of the doji candle, right? And same thing with here, the highest point was right here. So you want to put your stop loss above that wick. So if you enter for here, right, you want to put your stop loss above the wick, right? The highest point of the wick. That's where you want to put your stop loss, and then you go for your take profit, right? So it's very important that you only take your trade at a very strong support or resistance level, right? You wait for a candle to close, and you put your stop loss below the wick. So those are the things that you want to be mindful of when you are trading these formations. And the fourth rule, very important rule, is that you want to trade with the trend. So you want to trade with the trend. You don't want to be trading this formation in a consolidation. You don't want to be a situation where price is going like this and you're trying to find entries within this consolidation right here, because price has no clear movements. So don't trade these formations in a consolidation, because you don't know where price is going to go. So you're basically going to be stuck between these two areas. So what you want to do is you want to trade these formations in a trending market. So price is going up, price pulls back, price breaks that point. You want to look for price to come back to this level, and then at this point when it comes back to the level right here, this is where you want to be looking for these formations for price to then continue to push up. And as price push up, you wait for price to come back to this level, create one of these formations again, like right here, and then from there you push up. Sorry about that. Right, so you want to wait until the price breaks above retest, and push up, right? So these areas here is where you actually want to see price come back to take your entry. So these are the areas that you take your entry. You don't take your entry at the top of the move on an uptrend. You take your entry at the bottom of the move on a retest. So when the price is retesting, that's when you take your entry. Same thing with a downtrend, price is going down. You want to take your entry on the pullback. Price broke here, you want to take your entry on the pullback. So you want to take an entry right here. So you're looking for the formations of these three patterns on the pullback, and then you ride the wave go down, right? So that is what you're looking for. So you have to wait, you have to trade when there's a trend. You don't trade unless there's a trend, right? So what are the rules that we're looking out for? 1, you only take an entry at a strong support or resistance level. 2, you wait for candle to close. And 3, you put a stop loss below the wick. And 4, you trade with the trend. So those are your rules. Please make note of this, guys. This is very important, right? And of course, these are the 3 candle formations. Now, there are a lot more candle formations, but these are the ones that I have been trading and I feel more comfortable trading. And these are the ones I typically see and I go for, right? So you have engulfing candle, star formation, and 3-line strike. So let's go into the charts and see if we can find some examples of all of this. All right, let's go. All right, guys, so we are currently on the market right now, right? And we are seeing right here that we're actually in a downtrend, right? So price is creating, and we're currently on the 15-minute chart. So we're on a downtrend right now. Let me see if I can find my arrow. Where price is creating low, higher low, lower low, higher low, and is now in this area right here, right? So now price is in this area. Price is possibly retesting this area right here. So that's an area of interest for us. So let's make this a little bit lighter, change it to blue, right? So this is that area of interest for us. So we see that price is moving up and down. Now let's mark off some area of interest, right? So price broke out of this area right here. So that's one area of interest that we can look at. Price broke out of this area right here, and then it pushed down, but it started to reverse before closing below here, which means that price has still not created a lower low. So this is the previous low right here, right? And this is the previous high. And well, this is considered previous high because this high broke a low, but this high, it didn't break a low. So I am more thinking that price is still going to come back up in this area. Now, the reason why I said that is because in this area right here, this actual leg went down, caused this move to down here. And this move actually took out this previous low right here. So this move took out this previous low. But then price decides that it wants to pull back. So it pulled back, but when it pulled back to here, we would have then thought that this would have been the new low, right? But the reason why I'm not so convinced yet that it is a new low is because price came down here and then start to reject and push up, right? Because it didn't break this new low. So for me to consider this a real high, I would need price to actually break this low, which it didn't. It actually bounced from here. So my thought is that price may be coming back up into this area, and then it might start to push down to here. So that is where my thought is. So as a result of that, I'm not interested to take this trade until price comes back towards this white line. So I'm going to remove this. I want to see price come back to here and see what happens. Right? So let's play and see. There we go. So price comes back to here. Now, when price comes back to here, what do we see happen? Do we see any of our patterns? No. So we have this strong bullish candle, then we have this bearish candle, which we could consider to be the start of a star candle. But here what's missing, we need to have a long wick to the opposite direction, which you don't see. So far, this is not indicating to us that price is ready to reject. So let's see what happens after. There you go. So price has not indicated to us that there's any rejection. So guess what? Price has now violated this level. So now it is going for another level. And the next level that price could go to, right? So we'll look at a level where price has rejected multiple times. And as we can see, this level right here is a very strong level, because guess what? Price actually rejected from this level a few times. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So price has rejected or reacted from this level a couple of times. So this is a strong level right here. So we're going to see how price actually reacts. And as you can see, right off the bat, there's some reaction. You have this long reaction, this long rejection from there, right? So maybe this is the area that price wants to move from. But as you can see, this is still the high that is maintained. This high is still the high that is maintained. And until this high gets broken, we're still looking for sells. So currently we're still looking for sells. If this price gets broken, we'd wait for a retest of this area to take buys. But for now, we're still sells because the highest point has still not been broken as yet. So now we wait and see what happens. All right? Wow, look at that now. So we analyze that this is a very strong area that price could come in. Now watch this. You have 1, 2, 3 candles, and then you had this big candle to the downside. This is our 3-line strike formation. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, and then a strong candle to the opposite direction after it tap into a zone where it's an area of interest for us. So for me, I'm very much interested in this trade. So I'm going to take a short, going to put my stop loss because it's such a long candle. I'm going to enter at about 50% mark of this candle because I'm expecting price to at least create a wick to the top. So I want price to come up a little bit more so I have a better risk to reward. And I'm going to target the low that price has not broken yet. So price has come down all the way down here, right? So let's see how it goes. As a matter of fact, I'm going to target down here. So this is where I'm targeting. So this should be a 1 to 6 risk to reward. Now, we see our formation. We enter the trade and we're going to see if price is going to tag us in the trade. So right out the bat, we're tagged in the trade. We're now officially in this trade. Let's see what happens. All right. And there you go. Wow. Okay, now we have a strong move into the opposite direction. Let's see what happens. As you can see, guys, price rejected from here and is now going to the downside. Let's see if we can put that in order. So yes, a price rejected and is now going back to the downside. Let's see what happens. There we go. Now, I want to show you guys something again. Look at this now, right? So price broke out of this area right here, right? And then, let me see if I can do a bar replay. So price broke out of this area right here, moving to the downside. But it needs to come and retest this area that it's broken out of. We have a strong candle to the upside. Then we have a doji candle with a long wick going to the opposite side. And then we have another candle, boom, strong candle to the opposite side. This could have been another entry right here. Enter right there, stop loss above the wick, and you could target where we initially want to target, even probably a 1 to 3. Let's see if we can get the 1 to 3 out of it. Right there, right? So let's see how it plays out. And there you go. So our first take profit of this previous trade is a 1 to 6 have been hit. And now this particular trade that we take our second entry from, right, is actually in motion right now. So we've actually hit a 1 to 2. So let's see if we can actually get the 1 to 3 out of it. Let's see if we get the 1 to 3 out of it. Is it possible? There we go. So there you have it, guys. So if you had missed the previous entry up here, you'd have waited for price to push down, pull back, and then created the star formation. So now we have 2 formations. As a matter of fact, we could look at, this would have been 2 other formations. So you have this one, which is the 3-line strike, and you have this one, which is the morning star formation, or is it evening star? Evening star formation, because price is going down, right? So right off the bat, you're able to see two of the formations that we've been discussing, and each of them, we wait for it to hit a point of interest, wait for it to form, and then we enter after it form. And there we have it. We have our two profits that were actually hit. Now let's continue and see what happens, right? Let me see if I can find any. Here is one right here. So this is an engulfing candle. However, it has a wick at the bottom. I don't like to trade those candles. Here is one right here. So this would be a nice engulfing candle right there. And it's also, if you notice, it's also a 3-strike. It's actually a 3-strike candle. So this is another 3-strike candles. You have 3 candles moving in that direction. You have a strong candle to the opposite direction. This is what you call a 3-strike. So this is another 3-strike candle. So right off the bat, you could have entered at the 50% stop loss above the wick, and then you could move down to the next zone. So this is giving you a nice little trade. So a nice 3-star formation right here. Let's see if we find any engulfing. This is an engulfing candle, but this is not at the zone. So I wouldn't want to take that trade. That's not something I'd be interested in. Not seeing any engulfing candles, which is weird because typically those candles are typically the ones that you see mostly. I guess you can consider this an engulfing candle. So if you can look right here, you had this level that price broken. So price broken out of here, it went down, and then it was playing around and it came back up, and then it created this engulfing. So you could have taken the trade right here on this engulfing candle, and then you can actually take a trade all the way down to the next zone, right? So you basically can just go through the chart, guys, and look for these patterns at areas of strong support and resistance, right? Here is a star pattern right here. You have a strong candle to the upside, a rejection candle, so you could have actually entered on this star candle right here, stop loss above, and then you'd have been able to get into this trade all the way to down here. So this would have been a nice trade to enter as well. Enter here, stop loss above there. You could go for a 1 to 3 or all the way down to the zone right there, right? And then also price actually pulled back, and then there's this engulfing candle, so you could have entered on this engulfing candle as well, right? So two beautiful trades right here. You could have entered on this star formation, or you could have entered on this engulfing candle. As you can see, the wick is stronger to the upside. These are the kind of engulfing candles that I like to enter on when the wick is on the opposite side of where you want price to go. So because I'm looking for sales, I'd want the wick on this side rather than down here, right? So that's a nice engulfing candle for you to enter your trade on. Your stop loss, of course, will be above here or above this right here if you're going to enter right there. Let's see if we see any other entry opportunities. Any other entry opportunities? No, not. Yeah, so guys, so what you have to do now is you have to just go on the chart, right, and just look at different areas of confluence where you're expecting price to react to. So price to come back to and react to probably this area right here. Let's see what we see here. So right here, we're actually seeing a star formation and an engulfing candle. Now for this one, I don't mind this one that much, but I'm still not 100%. Anytime I see the wick to the bottom so strong, I wouldn't go for that. But this one now is a star formation. So as you can see, this is a star formation right here. It's not the best star formation because I'd like to see a wick to the top right here and less wick to the bottom, but it's a star formation nonetheless. And then of course, here's an engulfing candle right here. You could have entered on this candle. So you could have been here, stop loss above there, and you drive it all the way down. And you could have gotten a good 1, 2, 3 risk to reward thereabouts, right? So yeah, guys, so the more you can identify these different candle patterns is the more you're going to get in some good trades. So you just need to understand those candle patterns, identify them, and you will see, oh, here's a situation, guys, where you don't want to enter. Remember, you don't want to enter on certain candle patterns at certain places. Like, for instance, this could look like an engulfing candle here, right? But this is in the middle of nowhere. So you would have possibly entered on this engulfing candle, right? And you'd have been stopped out because this is really the middle of nowhere. As a matter of fact, if you look to the left, you'd have seen that right here was a support level. So it wouldn't have been good to enter right there. You want price to actually go back to a very strong level. Yeah, so there you have it, guys. I hope this video gave you a lot of value. If you did get some value, please, guys, consider to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be dropping so much more videos to help you with your trading and to help you on your trading journey, right? Please continue to support the movement by commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done so, I'm dropping a video, at least one video every week. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing far more than one, but you don't know. And then you can follow me on Instagram at LearnToTradeJA, where I post daily different markups and stuff. And I will be dropping the group, the signals group, the Learn and Earn group link sometime this week. So you can probably check this video or check other videos in the description. You see the link to the Learn and Earn, where you'll be able to take the exact same trades that I take. Also, you'll be able to actually learn how to trade, because I'm going to be doing live trading. So you'll be able to learn from me while we take trades and see if we can make some money. So you can take the exact same trades that I take, right? So I appreciate you guys for being here, for chilling with me. I hope you got tremendous value, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. So until next time, you don't know. Peace.